beyond thy Shakespearean Jesus Christ to spit and speak into you. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those who thou thinkest thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me from rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be much pleasure than from thee much flow, and soonest our best men be with thee to go, rest of their bones and souls delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance kings and desperate men, and doused with poison, war, and sickness dwell, and poppy or charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke. Why swellst thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die before, because I could not stop death. He kindly stopped for me the carriage held but just ourselves, and immortality we slowly drove. He knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure to for his civility. We passed a school where children strove at recess and the rain. We passed the fields of maize and grain. We passed a setting sun, or rather, he passed us the deuce, true, quivering and cold. For only gossamer, my gown, my tip, only toil told. We paused before a house that seemed the swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, but the cornice and the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first saw earnest the horses' heads, or toward eternity. I do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am a thousand winds that blow. I am a diamond's glints of snow. I am the sun, unripened grain. I am the sun, unripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awake and morning's hush, I am the swift uplift and rush. Our quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. I do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end, no dark is right, because their words had forth no lightning. They do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave cry by, how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage against the dying of the light, while men who call and sing the sun in flight, and learn too late they grieved. It is on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. A grave men near death who see, when with blind insight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on the sad height, here, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the night. I know that I shall meet my fate somewhere among the clouds above. Those that I fight, I do not hate. Those that I guard, I do not love. My country is a killed tartan cross. My country killed tartans poor. No likely end could bring them loss, or leave them happier than before. Nor law nor duty bade me to fight, nor public man, nor cheering crowds. A lonely impulse of delight drove to his tumult, and the clouds that balance all brought all to mind. The years to come seemed to waste of breath. The years behind and balance with this life is death, and death shall have no dominion. Dead men naked, they shall be one with the man and the wind and the west moon. When their bones are picked clean and the clean bones gone, they shall have stars at elbow and foot. Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again. Though lovers be lost love shall not, and death shall have no dominion, and death shall have no dominion. Under the windings of the sea, of the lion lawn shall not die when twisting on racks, when strapped to a heel, strapped to a wheel, yet they shall not break. A faith in their hands shall snap in two, and the unicorn evils run through them through, split all ends, and they shall crack, and death shall have no dominion, and death shall have no dominion. No more may gulls cry at their ears, or waves break loud on their sea shores. Where blew a flower, may a flower no more lift its head to the boughs of the rainbow. They be mad and dead as nails of the characters hammer through daisies, break in the sun till the sun breaks down, and death shall have no dominion. From my mother's sleep I fell into the state, and I hunched in its belly till my wet fur froze. 6 miles from earth, loosed from this dream of life, I went back, black fleck, and the nightmare fighters. When I died, they washed me out of the dirt with a hose. Well, the sun set, an evening star, and one clear for call for me, and may there be no morning at the bar. When I put out to sea, so be such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound or in form. And when that which drew from out the boundless deep, turn high again home, twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark for bow from out our bourne of time and place. The flood may bear me far. I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. Now I heard a fly buzz when I died. The stillness in the room was like the stillness in the air between the heavens of storm. The eyes around had run them dry, and breaths were gathering firm for the last onset when the king be witnessed in the room. I willed my keepsake signed away, what portion of me be assignable, and then it was the interpost a fly with blue uncertain stumbling buzz between the light and me, and then the windows failed, and then I could not see to see. Broken is the golden bowl, the spirit flown forever and ever. Let the bell toll, a saintly soul floats on the Stygian river, and guide thee there, has vowed to dear. We know and never more see on you, dear, and rigid blue by your low lies thy lovely Lenore. Come, let the burial rite be read, read the funeral song be sung, an anthem for the queenliest dead that ever died so young, but a dirge for her, the doubly dead, and that she died so young. Wretches, yet ye loved her for her wealth, and hated her for her pride, and when she fell in feeble health, ye blessed her that she died. How shall the ritual then be read? Requiem, how be sung by you, by yours the evil eye, by yours the slanderous tongue that did to death the innocent that died, and died so young. No, precambimus, but rave not thus, and let a Sabbath song go up to God, so solemnly the dead may feel so wrong. The sweet Leonore half gone, but for with hope that flew beside, leaving me wild for the dear child that should have been my bride. For her the fair and debonair, but now so slowly lies the life upon her yellow hair, but now within her eyes the light still there upon her hair, but death upon her eyes. Avant, to right my heart is right, my heart is light. No dirge will I upraise, but waft the angel on her flight with a pain of old days that no bell toll, lest her sweet soul amid its hollow mirth should catch the note as I doth float up from the damned earth to friends above, from fiends below, the indignant, a ghost and riven from hell unto a high estate far up within heaven, from grief and groan to a golden throne beside the king of heaven. When I have fears that I may cease to be before my pen has gleamed my team and brain, before my high-piled books and charactery, hope like rich garners the full ripened grain, when I behold upon the night starred face huge cloudy symbols of a high romance, and I think that I may never live to trace their shadows with the magic hand of chance. And when I feel a fair creature of an hour, that I shall never look upon thee more, never have relish in the fairy power of unreflecting love. And on the shore of the whole world I stand alone, and I think to love and flame, to nothingness to sink, no longer mourn for me when I am dead. And then you shall hear the surely solemn bell give warning to the world that I am fled. For this vile world with vilest worms so dwell. Nay, if you read this, spit this line, remember not the hand that spit it, for I love you so that I and your sweet thoughts will be forgot. If thinking on me, then should what make you woe. Oh, if I say you look upon the verse, when I perhaps compounded and with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I'm gone. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos, and with a muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come, let aeroplanes circle more moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message he is dead. But creep bows round the white necks of public doves, let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east, my west, my working week, and my Sunday rest. I knew my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanting now. Put out everyone. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, where nothing now can ever come to any good. I leaned upon a cop escape when frost was spectre gray and winter's dregs made desolate the weakening eye of day. Tangled vine stems escort the sky like strings are of broken lyres, and all mankind that deny yet sought their household fires. Land sharp features seemed to be the century's corpse, outlent his crypt, a cloudy canopy, the wind his death lament, the ancient pulse of German birth as was shrunken hard and dry, and every spirit upon earth seemed feverless as I at once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead, in a full-hearted evening song, full of joy limited, an age fresh, frail, gaunt and small, and blast beruffled plume had chosen thus to flame missile upon that growing gloom. So little cause for carolings of such a static sound was spitting on terrestrial things afar and nigh around, that I could think there trembled through his happy good night air some blessed hope whereof he knew and I was unaware. Mepha, I saw my late espoused spouse saint brought to me like Alcestis from the grave, whom joy's joust a great son to get her glad husband gave, rescued from the death of force by force foe, pale and faint, mine as womb washed from spot of childbed taint purification, and the old law did save, and such as yet once more I trust to have full sight of her in heaven without restraint, came vested all in white, pure as her mind, her face was veiled, yet to be a fancied sight of sweetness and goodness, and her person shined so clear as in no face, with more delight, but oh, as to embrace me, so she inclined, I watched she fled, and the day brought back my night. No, sweet child of mine, well, sweet child of mine, to him who in love of nature holds communion with her visible forms, she speaks a various language for his gayer hours. She has a voice of gladness and a smile darker musings with a mild and healthy sympathy, a sympathy that seals away their sharpness ere he is aware when thoughts of the last bitter hour comes like a blight over by spirit and sad images of their stern agony, and shroud and pall and breathless darkness in the narrow house. Wow. Make thee to shudder and grow sick at heart and go forth upon the open sky and listen to nature teachings while from the ground around earth and her waters and the depths of the air comes a still voice. Yet a few days and thee, but all beholden sun shall see no more in all his course, not yet in the cold ground where thy pale from was laid with many tears, nor in the embrace of the ocean shall exist thy image, earth that nourished thee shall claim up thy growth to be resolved to earth again, and lost each human trace, surrendering up that thine individual being shalt thou go to mix forever with the elements, to be a brother to the insensible rock, and to the sluggish cold which the rude swain turns his with his snare and treads upon the oak. Still shall send his roots abroad and pierce thy mold, yet not to find eternal rest in place shalt thou retire alone, nor couldst thou wish could couch more magnificent. Thou shalt lie down with patriarchs of the infant world, the kings, the powerful of earth, the wise, the good, fair forms, and hoary seers of ages past, all in one mighty sepulchre of the hills, rock-ribbed and ancient as the sun, the vales, stretching in pensive quietness between the venerable woods, rivers that move in majesty and become plain in brooks that make the meadows green and poured round all old oceans gray and melancholy waste are but the solemn decorations all of the great tomb made of golden sun. The plants all the infinite host of heaven are shining on the sad abodes of death. Through still lapse of ages, all that tread the globe are but a handful of two tribes that slumber in his bosom, take the wings of morning and pierce the barking wilderness or lose thyself in the continuous woods where rolls the Oregon and hears no sound save his own dashings, yet the dead are there millions, and those solitudes since first the flight of years begin have laid them down everlastingly. The dead reign there alone, so shall thou rest, and if thou withdraw in silence from the living, and no friend to take note of thy departure, all that brave will share thy destiny, though they will laugh when thou art gone. The solemn brood of care plod on, and each one as before will chase his favorite phantom, yet all these shall leave their mirth and their employments, and shall come and make their bed with thee as the long train of age glides away. The long train of age glides away. The son of men, youth and life's green spring, and he who goes in the full strength of years, nation and maid, the speechless babe, and the gray-headed man shall one be one. Wait be gathered to thy side by those who in their turn shall follow them. So live that when thy summons come to join the innumerable crate then which moves to that mysterious realm where each shall take his chamber in the silent halls of death, thou go not like a query slave at night, scourged into his dungeon, but sustained and soothed by an unfaltering trust. Approach thy grave like one who wraps the drapery of his couch about him and lies down to pleasant dreams. Let me die a young man's death, not a clean and in between the sheets holy water death, not a famous last words peaceful out of breath death. When I'm 73 and I'm constant good to murmur, may I be down, mown down and dawn by a bright red red sports car on my way home from a all-night party, or when I'm 91 with silver hair sitting in a barber chair. Me rifle casers with unham-fisted Tommy guns bursting and give me a short back of insides, or when I'm 104 and banned from the cavern. Oh, my mistress catching me in bed with his daughter and fearing for her son. Cut me up into little pieces and throw every piece but one. Let me die young man's death, not free from sin, tiptoeing, candle wax and wine and death. Not occurrence, done down by angels born. What a nice way to go deaf. I have horrendous vows with death, horrendous vows with death. At some disputed barricade, when spring comes back with rust and shade, rustle and shade, and apple blossoms fill the air. I have red as those with death. And when spring brings back blue days and fair. Oh no. Maybe he shall take my hand and lead me into his dark and close my eyes and quench my breath. Maybe I shall pass him still. I have ran this close with death. Oh, some scarred slope of battered hill. When spring comes round again, this year in the first meadow flowers appear. God knows 'twere better to be deep pillow and silk and scented down, where love throbs out in blissful sleep. A pulse night, two pulse and breath to breath, where hush awakens our dear. But I've read this house with death at midnight in some flame in town. When spring trips north again this year, and to my pledged word and true, I shall not fall. That red this house death that struck when I was most confined in my certain fate to joy to be strike again. Time's withered branch dividing from the fresh root of eternity, leaves upon time's branch were grown when brightly full of sap and full of silver dew. Birds beneath its shelter gabber nightly or daily round as flowers. The wild bees flew, start whirled past and plucked the golden blossom, guilt stripped off the foliage and its pride, but within its patience, kindly blossom bosom of flowers for over life's restoring tide. Like little mourned I am for the part to gladness, for the vacant nest and silence on. Hope was there, and laughed me out of sadness, whispering winter will not linger long. And behold, with tenfold increased blessing spring, adorn the beauty bird and spray, wind and rain of that fervent heat, caress in lavish glory on the 2nd of May. High it rose, no winged relief, no winged grief could sweep it. Sin was scared to a distance with its fine love and its own life, had power to keep it from all wrong, from every blight, but find a cruel death. The young leaves drop in languish, even as gentle air may still restore. No, the morning sunshine mocks my anguish. Time for me most must never blossom more. I strike it down, the other boughs may flourish, where that pear's spelling sapling used to be of us at last. At least its moldering corpse will nourish that from which it sprung eternity. I know I will love death. Why? Because death too is God's creation. Because death reminds me of the existence of my sister, Infinity's life immortal. Before us, great death stands, our fate held close within his quiet hands. When with proud joy we lift life's red wine to drink deep of the mystic shining cup in ecstasy through all our being leaps. Death bows his head and weeps. The time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice, but for those who love. Time is eternity. What delightful guests are they? Life and love linger and turn away this late hour, yet glad enough they have not withheld from me their high hospitality, so their high hospitality. So with face alight with delight, in all gratitude I stay. yet to press their hands and say, thanks so fine and time, good night, rhyme after rhyme after rhyme. If I should die and leave you here a while, be not like others, sore undone, who keep a long vigil by the silent dust. For my sake, turn again to life and smile, nerve in thy heart and trembling hand, to do something to comfort other hearts than mine. Complete these dear unfinished tasks of mine, and I perchance may therein comfort you. How wonderful is death! Death is his brother's sleep, and one pale as yonder waning moon with lips of lurid blue, the other rosy as the moon when thrown down ocean's wave. It blushes over the world, yet both so passive wonderful. If I should go before the rest of you, break not a flower, break not a flower, nor inscribe a stone, nor when I'm gone speak in a Sunday voice, but be the usual self that I have known. Weep if you must part in is hell, but life goes on, so Satan as well. All nature has a feeling, woods, field, brooks, and our life's eternal, and in silence they speak happiness beyond the reach of books. There's nothing more dull than them, their decay is the great life that changed to pass away and come again in blooms, revivified. Its birth was heaven, eternal it is state, and with the sun and moon shall still abide beneath their day and night, and heaven wide, heaven rhyme. Where do people go to when they die? Somewhere down below or in the sky, I can't be sure, say Granddad, but it seems they simply set up home inside your dreams. A farewell to thee, but not farewell to all my fondest thoughts of thee within my heart. They still shall dwell, and they shall cheer and comfort me. Life seems more sweet that thou didst live, and men more true thou went gone. One, nothing is lost that thou didst give, nothing destroy that thou hast done. He that is down needs fear no fall. He that is low no pride. He that is humble ever shall have God to be his guide. I am content with what I have, little be it or much, and Lord, contentment will I crave, because thou savest such fullness to such a burden is that go on pilgrimage here little hereafter bliss is best from age to age, spit freestyle rage to the stage. If only we could see the splendor of the land to which our loved ones are called, from you and me we'd understand. And if only we could hear the welcome they receive from old familiar voices also dear, we would not grieve. If only we could know the reason why they went, we'd smile and wipe away the tears that flow and wait content. I fall asleep in the full and certain home, that my slumber shall not be broken, and that thou I be all forgotten. Yet shall I not be forgotten, but continue that life in the thoughts and seeds of those I loved from above. If I should go tomorrow, if I would never be goodbye, it would never be goodbye if I should go tomorrow, for I have left my heart with you. So don't you ever cry. The love that's deep within me shall reach her from the skies, from the stars, from afar. You'll feel it from the heavens, and it will heal the scars of the night that has 1,000 eyes, and the day but one. Yet the light of the bright world dies with the dying sun. The mind has 1,000 eyes, and the heart but one. The mind has 1,000 eyes, and the heart but one. Yet the light of a whole life dies when love is done. There is no night without a dawning, no winter without a spring, and beyond the dark horizon our hearts will once more sing. For those who leave us for a while have only gone away out of a restless careworn world into a brighter day away. Peace, my heart, let the time forth apart and sweet, let it not be deaf with but completeness. Let love melt into memory and pain into songs. Let the flight fruit the sky and in the folding of the wings over the nest. Let the last touch of your hands be gentle like the flower of the night. Stand still, oh beautiful end, for a moment and say your last words in silence. I bow to you and hold up my lamp to light the way away. You must not shut the night inside you. but endlessly in light. A dark immerse, a tiny lamp has gone out in my tap. I bless the flame that warms the universe. Spitting all this, it hurts.